A CNN exclusive and new information about what was behind Chief Justice John Roberts' surprising decision to block the Trump administration's attempt to add a citizenship question to the 2020 census. In June, he sided with the more liberal judges and cast this deciding vote in the 5-4 decision. CNN's Joan Biskupic is our CNN Supreme Court analyst. Tell us what you're learning, Joan.
Thanks, Brianna. Well, we knew that he had cast the deciding vote with the 4 liberal members of the court to block the citizenship question, but we didn't know that it happened during deliberations.
Wow.
In April, right after the court had heard the case, he was ready to rule for Wilbur Ross, the Commerce Secretary whose plan this was to add the citizenship question. But then he began to waver, and he started to look at the rationale that Secretary Ross had offered. Remember, he tied it to enforcement of the Voting Rights Act, saying that citizenship data needed to be collected for that. And the chief began to realize that that rationale was invented, and it mattered. So in the end, he decided that the contrived rationale, and contrived is his words, actually mattered to the bottom line vote for Secretary Ross, invalidating it as he did in June. So it was between April to June that this all unfolded. And it recalled in some way what the chief had done in 2012 when he voted with the 4 liberals in a much more surprising manner to uphold President Obama's Affordable Care Act. So twice, we've had these cases go down to the wire, and Chief Justice John Roberts, who is otherwise a very reliable conservative, casting this vote.
A woman is in a coma, listen to this, after she used face moisturizing cream that ended up being tainted with mercury. That's according to the Sacramento Health Department. Her son says that she knew that somebody had messed with the cream. She got it from Mexico.
The one from Mexico was better. I had better of a. They would alter them a little bit for that. The effect. It came on very slowly. She had mentioned just numbing in her lips and numbing in her mouth. She had a lot of fatigue, very tired all the time, just wanting to be in bed.
Now, it was in a Pond's canister marked that way, but she bought it from somebody who was getting it in Mexico and used it for years and knew it had been doctored, if you will. Doctors say the amount of mercury, of all things, in her blood was 500 times more than normal. Sacramento's health department says that somebody else added the mercury, obviously not Pond's, not the company. The maker of Pond says it only designs, manufactures, and clears for sale products that are safe for consumers, unquote. It adds, it does not use mercury, I mean, you know that, right, in any of its products, and that you should only buy products from trusted retailers.
The Iranian Federation, the Iranian government is the one to blame, but we're not talking about them because we're done dealing with them. We have talked to them for a while, for decades. Now, I think FIFA is the one to blame because Mr. Infantino, the head of FIFA, was in Tehran watching the derby, the blue-red team, when 33 girls were arrested outside of the stadium. And the very next day, I sent him a letter explaining the whole situation. And after that, I sent him 8 complaint letter. It was March 2018, and Sahar was arrested March 2019. So there was 1 year, so many complaints, and during that 1 year, I submitted my petition with more than 2,200,000 signatures at the time. Now we're reaching almost 300,000. So I submitted the letter in person to the Security Council of FIFA, Ms. Fatma Samura, and I asked her to take action. And I think FIFA is the one to blame. And if they enforced their own human rights and gender discrimination rules, that Sahar was alive today.
Yes. What assurances were you given by FIFA that they would respond to your calls for help on this issue?
They said they asked Iran to end this ban and to provide safety for women. But releasing a statement is one thing, and enforcing it, and it's because this issue is time sensitive. You know, we cannot wait. We have been waiting for 40 years, and I think that's more than enough. Now, FIFA has to take action immediately by enforcing its own human rights rules.
FIFA said earlier this summer, Mary, and I'm sure you saw, that they are calling on Iran to allow women to attend the first World Cup qualifier, which takes place on the 10th of October. Given all your dealings with them up to now and what we've seen in terms of their, as you're saying, inactivity, how likely are Iran to comply with FIFA's request to allow women into that stadium next month?
So they said they're allowing women to attend the stadium for the game, which is on October 10th. But we wanted to be for every game, not only for national team, for leagues, for Iran leagues team, and all the stadiums, not only for Azadi Stadium.
What will it take for Iran to sit up and respond to FIFA? Do you think that Iran's national team need to be banned from competing in the next World Cup?
If FIFA wants to follow its own rule, that's the only option, because Iran is the only country that doesn't allow women to go to stadium at this point. So if Iran doesn't do it and FIFA wants to follow its own rule, they have to suspend the whole federation. But I don't think that's going to happen, because I'm very positive that on October 10th, they let women inside. And what happened to Sahar and the whole international attention this issue received, I think the problem is going to be solved.
Sorry, Miriam, I missed the end of what you were saying there. I just want to ask you, this must be quite a difficult subject for you on the subject of Iran's national team being banned, because your brother is actually the captain of that team, something you revealed in a New York Times article earlier this year. How much support have you had from him and from the men's team on pushing this issue?
I mean, our paths are different, but he's very sensitive about this issue himself, because he's one of the men who really cares about women's rights. And now they are like other players support what happened to Sahar. Many people, including players, supported the issue, but at this point, this is personal for me. I know if the national team is suspended, but you know, somebody died.